All right, y'all, before we get started, let's give some love to our sponsors, and that means our good friends over at distilleryproducts.com. They are some of the leaders in laser etched glassware, and guess what? When you work with them, you get them at wholesale pricing. I'm not lying. That's a heck of a lot cheaper than you're going to find anywhere else. Reach out to me. I would love to get you in touch with Carson, Janie, Vicky, and all the good folks over at distilleryproducts.com. They are where we get our glassware from, and chances are most of the distilleries you go to use them as well. They have awesome glasses besides just the Glen. Feel free to reach out to me. I will get you in touch with them, and then you can go on their website, browse, and see for yourself. Check them out, distilleryproducts.com. Today's show is also sponsored by our friends over at Orca Coolers, who are ready to help you make this the coolest summer ever. They have something for everyone from American-made, lifetime guaranteed hard side coolers to stainless steel whiskey barrel tumblers that are going to elevate your drinking experience. Some of you may have seen on social media recently, we just got a new cooler. His name is Willie. He is going to come with us whenever we go visit distilleries. Thank you to Orca for giving us that. The cooler's super cool. I love it. It's hard. It's proof, means I can't even get into it. It's going to keep whatever is in your cooler cold for days. It will retain ice for days. And those whiskey barrel tumblers, man, they are it looks like you're actually drinking from a whiskey barrel. What better way to be the envy of your barbecue by either getting one of those coolers or getting one of the tumblers? People are going to come over and go, man, where'd you get that? You're going to say Orca. Use code DADS20 for 20% off of your order. That is code DADS20 for 20% off your order. Orca's there for all of life's adventures. Get an Orca and take them on some adventures with you. Today's show is also sponsored by our friends at Action247.com. You want action? Get in on the action with Tennessee's only sportsbook by Tennesseans for Tennesseans. And if you use code DADS100, they will match up to $100 of your first deposit. That is code DADS100. And y'all know we are going into the Final Four. So if you bet $25 on any game, you get $25 in a free bet. And the whole entire March Madness, there's buzzer beater insurance. You get 40% back up to $25 if your team loses on a buzzer beater. Right now, at the time I am recording this, UCLA is up 22-21 over Michigan, but Gonzaga already punched their ticket to the Final Four. Baylor punched their ticket to the Final Four, and Houston made their first Final Four since 1984. You know this weekend is going to be crazy. Can't wait to watch it. Can't wait to get in on the action with Action247.com. Don't forget to use code DADS100. And now, it's time for the show. Hello, everyone. My name is John Edwards, and with me as always is Zeke Baker, and together we make the Dad's Drink of Bourbon. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, thank you for making us a part of your day. Zeke, I'm glad you didn't get swept away. We had a lot of rain this weekend. It was the second highest rainfall in like a 2-day span in Middle Tennessee history, 7 inches.
Yeah, probably since the flood, I guess.
Yeah, it reminded me of the flood.
Granted, I kind of missed half of it until I saw the news Sunday afternoon. Like, oh, wow, it rained a lot, I guess.
Our heart goes out to anyone who got flooded. There were plenty of people I've been seeing pop up over Facebook, people in the whiskey community, people that are now connected to our kids, like our teachers, things like that. Like there have been things popping up, and just my heart goes out to anyone who had anything happen to them in the flood. I'm glad Zeke is okay. I'm glad I'm okay. Really glad I live on a hill. That's all I gotta say.
You and me both.
But how are you, man? How was your weekend? I mean, soccer was canceled for Sophia, so I ended up taking her to a Vanderbilt women's soccer game on Sunday so she could see the big girls play soccer and get inspired.
I think about the only eventful thing I managed to sneak in was a break in the heavy rain to put the kids in the wagon and go for a ride, and then we had to put the top on it for a little while, and I managed to wear myself out pretty sufficiently pulling them around the neighborhood for a little while.
Well, that sounds fun.
Oh, yeah, always.
Normally you have, have you been watching March Madness? Did you watch that UCLA-Alabama game?
No.
What?
I didn't.
Oh my God, let me paint this picture for you. So Alabama's down 2. They're at the free throw line. He misses both the free throws. And then
Got to make your throws.
UCLA gets the ball, gets 1 free throw. So Alabama's down 3 with like 2 seconds left. Alabama hits a last second 3-pointer to go into overtime, but UCLA ended up winning pretty handedly in overtime. But just a crazy game.
Well, isn't that why they call it March Madness?
Yeah. Everybody's looking for that one shining moment. You're really giving me a lot today. We're vibing so well. This is like, I feel the synergy.
I was off the grid for the weekend. Sorry.
To use your word, I feel the synergy here. I'm feeling the flow. We're doing the bull dance. Let's get right into the whiskey then, if this is how it's going to be. So we're a little late in getting to this. We should have got to this a little bit earlier in March. We had a lot going on. I blame my vacation to Disney on this. Heaven Hill was nice enough. They sent us the Elijah Craig barrel proof and the Larceny barrel proof. So this whole week, we will dedicate both episodes to those 2 pours. Tonight, we are going to drink Larceny barrel proof, and then later on, we will be drinking the Elijah Craig barrel proof A121. They are both A121. What's that mean? A means it is the first release of 2021, which is at the end. 1 is the month that it's released, so this would have been a January release. The next one will be 5, and the next one will be 9 after that. So it will be A121, B521, and C921.
You think, at least.
You think. If it has been anything like it's been for the past 3 years, then yes, it will follow the same process. This Larceny barrel proof, it is batch A121. It is 114.8 proof, 57.4 ABV. They don't tell you the age statement on this one. It comes in at around $50. Mash bill on this one is 68% corn, 20% wheat, and 12% malted barley. Zeke, what did you think of this pour?
Let's see here. Diving on in, I would say nose-wise, really, really enjoyable. First 2 wafts were caramel and vanilla, pretty standard, but they did seem a little more noticeable and poignant, I guess. I also picked up like candy corns. Then kind of reminded me of, they come in little squares and like black and white crackers or like the sugar
Milanos?
filled. I don't know, man. This should have had as a kid.
Pepperidge Farm?
I don't think so. They sell them like an individual, like little plastic wrap things, like the size of a bit of honey, but it's in clear.
I don't know.
It's not a zebra cake either. I don't know. So I picked up candy corn, and then it kind of reminded me of like a wafer with nougat, or like, like the sugary cream filling you get in a lot of stuff. It kind of has that super just rich, it's fake artificial sugars, but damn, it's good. And you just want to eat a couple of them when they're in front of you kind of thing,
Yeah.
There's some like black and white striped little candy thing. It's rectangular shaped. I thought it was called a zebra or something, but a flash on the Googles is not pulling it up, so I apologize there. Moving to the palate, at first it had a really like just fun flash of sweet and spicy put together. I thought was nice. But moving towards the middle of the palate, it kind of reverted back to more of a younger corn kind of thing, and that sweet and spicy, I guess, kind of almost fell apart to a small degree as far as really just being 2 separate flavors in between a younger corn and then also just kind of a prickly spice that I think is usually kind of from young-ish juice. I kind of put down there as a side note. It'd be almost like having any type of plain corn product, whether it be corn on the cob or like regular popcorn versus doctored and familyed up corn on the cob with all the fixings, or popcorn at that movie theater with butter or whatever else stuff you want to put on there, that season wise. It really just kind of seemed like the difference in the two to me once it kind of fell apart by the mid palate.
So I agree with you on the nose. It was like this thick and creamy caramel and vanilla. And then the taste, everything on the mouthfeel on the beginning is exactly what I was looking for. I mean, it was thick, it was sweet, it was spicy, all the stuff you're talking about. When it started to fade, I was like, this is still a really good barrel strength weeder for $50. Who the hell cares? Tastes awesome. If you saw this on a shelf, you wouldn't even hesitate because it is a solid barrel strength weeder for $50. Enough said. Drop the mic. Don't even think about it. Now, I had a barrel strength weeder today that I was potentially reviewing for a store, and it was a little young and it just wasn't cooked. It was raw. Like, and you know, and I know that weeders are really hard to figure out, especially when this is a 20% weeder. I mean, weeders take longer. It's not that they're hard to figure out, but if you have something that tastes rounded and mature and thick and creamy and it's $50 and it's barrel strength, don't dissect this one too much. Just enjoy the ride.
The ride or the rye?
The ride. There is no rye.
I tried. Yeah, that was kind of my thought as I sat here and, went through, did notes, then revisited an extra time or two. It was really one of those things of like, all right, if I wasn't sitting here and I wasn't overthinking about this and I was distracted by two or three things going on and, whatever else is more of a much more real life type of situation, I don't think half the stuff that, we picked up or pick on this for would be even more than just very, very subtly noticeable, if noticeable at all. And in that realm, it's just an easy, thoughtless drinker, so to speak. I think this really fits the tea.
I know. I was sitting here trying to really dissect it and get a whole lot of notes. And then I was sitting there like, dummy, why are you trying to do this? Just, it's good. I hate to say that's not a tasting note for people, and I know people want us to dissect it. Sometimes trying to dissect it, like not every whiskey needs to be dissected into tasting notes. That's just my personal opinion. I think sometimes you just shut the hell up and drink it.
I've been trying to get you to do that for 4 years.
What do you mean? I mean, I just think sometimes we could sit here and find another 10 minutes to talk about on this, really extend it out, talk about nuances. Like the finish is fine on this. The taste is fine on this. Why try to ruin a good thing? This is just one that you want to pour when you're sitting on the deck watching TV, like watching sports on the deck TV. Like you're pouring this one into a tumbler. You're not pouring this one into a Glen. You're just kind of enjoying the drink here.
I mean, I don't think the vessel necessarily matters, but I agree. If you're doing anything else and just want something to enjoy without any off-putting qualities, I think this should strike your fancy for most people.
The vessel matters to me, and maybe this is where we could bullshit for a minute so that the people get their money's worth. And by people, they don't pay any money to us for this show. But the vessel for me completely determines my mindset of how I'm drinking. Like if I have a Glen, I am thinking I'm sipping it, I'm nosing it, I'm really getting into the tasting notes. Like, and then if I have a highball or a tumbler or something like that, like it's not about trying to get a nose off that. That's just trying to drink a pour.
See, I find it to be much more situational all right, am I worried about somebody else in this house knocking this glass over or something else happening or a dog's tail hitting it or whatever else in the world? In those instances, you want something that's spill proof. When nobody's awake or around, then you can actually use something a little bit nicer in the glassware category.
Yeah. So when other people are around and you don't want to knock things over, it's not like you're sitting there going, oh, let me see what my nose and tasted finish is on this whiskey.
Well, so the intent is not how closely am I going to dissect this whiskey. It's what is the percent chance of something happening to this damn thing before I get to enjoy it.
That's why it's just easier to wait until I put the kid to bed.
Well, sometimes, even if you're by yourself, like I'm out in the yard doing something or like it's late at night and I'm out in the back having a cigar and, playing a video game on my phone and it's dark and, I can't necessarily see where stuff got put or whatever. It's kind of like, oh, shit, kicked something over. Whoops.
I will not take Glens out to the fire anymore. I am purely a tumbler guy by the fire. I won't take any glass out there. It's just a recipe for disaster.
I'm just waiting for you to have that moment to where you, get out there and get all cozy and kick your feet up on the side of the fire pit. And then you look down about an hour later and realize, quarter to half of the sole of your shoes melted off all around that fire pit.
No. But I will tell you, I got Shameless plug for our sponsor that we already did the ad for, but I had that barrel tumbler from our friends at Orca by the fire over the weekend, and I had it sitting there, and I took a picture, and it was sitting up there for like 10, 15 minutes, and then I went to go grab it, and I'm like, damn, that's hot. Like, because it's the steel, you don't always think about it because it is a steel product, like it's stainless steel. And I just hadn't had a fire in a long time because it happens with any tumbler I put up there that is stainless steel. But I had it up there for a little bit too long. I went, hot damn, that's hot.
John boy.
Anyways, I'm a buy on this. I know you are too, right?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think it's like a lot of things. If you want to get overly picky, you can. If you want to be dumb and happy, as some people say, this will allow you to be.
I think we had a little reservation on the C. Was it the C that we didn't love last year, or was it the B?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think it's this, the B impressed us, and then inversely, the C kind of stubbed their toes a little bit.
Yeah, the B was amazing. The C kind of, but you know what? They're back on track with this. It's in between that B and C for me. That B was just a real special one. This is still a home run from them. This is a touchdown. It's a walk in the park, Kazansky. I liked it.
I'm not even going to chime in after that whole big dissertation.
Find us on Facebook at Dad's Drinking Bourbon, Twitter at Bourbon Dads, Instagram at Dad's Drinking Bourbon. Find us wherever you download your podcast. Chances are you already have because you're listening to us now. So thank you. Zeke, where else can the folks find us?
Good old Music City, USA. Hope everybody got a hit in the flood gets better soon.
Cheers.
Ciao.